Hi everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name is Joy Maele. In today's episode, we will be having a conversation on bipolar disorder, getting to understand what is bipolar, what are the signs and symptoms, what are the causes, and is there treatment for bipolar? With me I have a mental health advocate and a counseling psychologist. Welcome, Stella.
Thank you so much for having me, Joy. Now, oftentimes, bipolar is considered a mood disorder. A mood disorder is what affects now how we're feeling, whether we're happy, sad, angry, and how we express that feeling. So when we're looking at when we're looking at bipolar, we're looking at swings in mood. So someone could go from one very happy state, and this state or this episode, as we call it, they have high energy, they don't need to sleep, they have multiple ideas, they can start one project, leave it alone, start another one, leave it alone, start another one, leave it alone. This is a point in time where they could be talking very, very fast. You're trying to cut in to say something, they're not letting you, they're keeping on talking. And this is a point in time where, again, they could snap and become very irritable really quickly. So you'll feel like you're walking around on eggshells around this person. Then we switch over into the depressive side. This is a point where they're isolated from people. They are not having that much energy. They might be sleeping more, sleeping less. They might be eating more, eating less. But you find during this time they don't want to be putting themselves out there. Or you could find, yes, they're going about their work, but the energy or the love they had for their job or for what they were doing, their hobbies, it's not there. Now, it's very important to note this isn't happening in the span of 2 seconds. Because we're human, it's very, very normal to have swings in mood as a human being. Where you're happy in the morning, to a funny kitu in a of course, you get angry. That doesn't mean you have bipolar. Or you become sad. When you receive sad news, someone has passed or fuel prices have gone up, you'll have an emotion, and that's perfectly fine. When we're looking at bipolar, there's a time frame in which this happens. Okay. If you're having that high energy period, it should last anywhere between 4 days upwards to a week. If we're having the depressive episode, we are looking at 2 weeks as a minimum. So it's not that I'm just sad today, therefore I have depression or I have bipolar. It's an aspect of how long do these symptoms last and how many of these are you checking off. So are we having those high energy periods? Are we having those low energy periods? Are we seeing that swing up and down, up and down, up and down?
Okay. So what differentiates depression from the bipolar on the nose that you're saying?
Now, when we're looking at depression, depression is also a mood disorder, but it's a standalone disorder. Those high moods that we are seeing, that high energy isn't there. That's the main difference between bipolar and depression. The depression that's experienced within a bipolar episode or a bipolar depressive episode is the same thing you will see with depression by itself. There are different types of bipolar. Bipolar 1, for example, has that mania or the manic episode. When someone, if this were to say, this line here is kawaida, I'm not too happy, not sad, I'm just there. Someone who has regular will come up a little bit and calm down. Because we're not always just flat, we have feelings. But someone with bipolar 1 will shoot higher up.
Will have high oscillations.
Exactly. So you'll find the high point up here is much higher than the line down here.
Okay.
And then depression again will shoot down here. For someone who has bipolar 2, they don't actually get all the way up here. They get into what we call hypomanic. It's just a smaller version of it. So they get about halfway and then come back down.
Okay.
But the depression is the same. So that's the main difference between those two.
What are the causes of bipolar?
Now, when it comes to causes of bipolar, there is no one specific cause. Unfortunately, there's no big discovery that has happened where we know, given a hit, definitely will have bipolar. It is just a combination of many things. It could be you went through a traumatic event and that set off bipolar. It could be genetically you're predisposed or you're at risk. The same way in some families, unapata shosho kuna diabetes, mom also has diabetes. The chances of you having it go up. Same thing with bipolar. You will find maybe we were drinking alcohol, smoking cannabis, and that opened the door for the bipolar to actually be presented so that we can actually see it.
Is there treatment for bipolar? Or what happens?
Well, when someone has a diagnosis of bipolar, yes, it is chronic, but it's very, very takes one, a psychiatrist to at least prescribe medication, but two, a therapist or a psychologist or counselor to come in and we sit down and we start having sessions, and those sessions are conversations around the bipolar. What triggers certain episodes? Kuna watu wakipata pesa, mshahara imeingia. So you find already it's setting up it's setting them up for an episode. And if someone is able to notice money is a trigger for me, having too much money or having little money can set off my moods, then we start to talk about financial management. If another trigger for you is stress, when you go to work and you don't know how to handle that stress, it could set off a depressive episode or set off a manic episode. Then we start to talk about that. How do we manage our stress?
From your experience, Stella, I'm looking at somebody who's on medication and they're getting tired. They've been through therapy. They understand everything, but they're just tired. You know, you can get tired taking medication. What happens when they stop taking medication?
Well, in my experience, oftentimes people end up having one, the symptoms come back. So a lot of those episodes we were talking about, the manic episode, they come back and they come back full force. But on top of that, because your body has gotten used to this medication, it will also go into a withdrawal from the medication. Because this medication was aligning things within your body system. So when we take it out, our system now has to relearn how to function again.
As I want to understand, I'm assuming I have been diagnosed with bipolar, and my sister or my significant other is there. How are they going to assist me? How do they come in?
Well, when we look at some therapy, it could involve family. You could say, I have this family member who I would love to be my support system, but he had easy. You could have a conversation. I know at the retreat, for example, they'll have those family sessions and call someone in and be like, hey, so your person has bipolar and this is what it looks like and this is how it presents and this is how you can help them. Or when you notice the symptoms, this is how you can point it out. Sometimes, not everyone is self-aware. But my friend will notice when I'm speaking a bit too fast. In fact, they can tell when I'm off medication. So that friend is able to know what warning signs to look out for and can also initiate certain pathway plan. Again, not everyone is involved in management. You won't call Shosho from that side and the cousin from you haven't seen him. You call what we call the core people or your inner circle. It could be husband or wife. It could be siblings if you're very, very close with siblings, and parents. It could be a cousin if you're genuinely very close to a cousin or an auntie or an uncle. But having someone who understands what's happening and what's going through is helpful.
I like that because Stella here is preaching hope. That's what I'm getting here. And when we are still talking about hope, I want you to tell our viewers, could I still be diagnosed with bipolar and run my life normally?
Yes.
Have a family?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yes.
There's so many successful people who have a mental illness, be it bipolar, be it depression, even schizophrenia. These are all, I know one day you'll talk about this.
Yes.
It's a mini Rudy. You'll have people who have a mental illness and they're still very capable of functioning. You're still very capable of having a family, having a job, doing well in that job, excelling even. There are many millionaires who have bipolar. Even billionaires have bipolar. It is not a handicap. It just means you need to work harder on understanding yourself and how that affects everything around you.
Wow, thank you so much, Stella. This has been wonderful. I know we would want to discuss more and get to understand bipolar more. You can ask those questions in our comment section. You can tell us what else you'd want to hear from us. Thank you so much, our viewers, for listening to us. Follow us on all our social media handles. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Bye.